Hello people of the world. Okay, so in this video I'm going to show you how to live link from Unity to Substance Painter and Substance Painter back to Unity. So let's get started. Okay, so I just want to start by going through the model we're going to use here. We're going to texture up this table that I've created for a project that I'm currently working on. This is the low poly version. And this is the high poly version. The high one I'm simply going to use to bake normal maps from that onto my low poly version inside Substance Painter. You can see I've got two materials assigned to it. One tabletop, obviously for the top, and one table legs. And I've already exported these to go into Unity. So let's jump into Unity now and take a look. Okay, so I've already exported it and brought it into Unity here. You can see this is my table. And you can see it's got the two materials assigned to it, tabletop, table legs, exactly the same. So what I'm going to do now is activate the live link that comes with Unity. You have to get it from the asset store. If you go into the asset store and type in, it cranks up, connecting, and type in Substance Painter. You can see there, Substance in Unity. If you click on that, and there it is. So you can download this, add it to your project. It's free, you don't have to pay for it. So what it will do is let you link your model live with Substance Painter so you can see the results inside Unity as you actually paint it, and that's what I'm going to show you now. It's very cool. I've just started using this on one of my projects now, and I thought I'd show you. It's really cool. So download that, install it into your project, and you see I've already done it down here. You get these two folders, SP Textures and Substance folder inside your assets project folder. You can see it's got a live link folder and a substance source. Okay, so now what we do is go back to our scene. Let me see, go into your models, go to where your model is, click on your model like this, go to materials over here, and make sure where it says location, use external materials, because I think yours will be use embedded materials and you don't want that. You want to make sure it says use external materials like that, and then click apply, because you want obviously the materials to come in from Substance Painter. If that's not set, I don't think it will work, so you make sure you set that up. Okay, so that's the second thing. So first thing, install the plugin. Second thing, make sure your materials are set to use external materials. Okay, third thing, you need to have Substance working in the background. So I've got it here. So it's all ready to accept a model. So what I'm going to do actually, I'm going to split the screen so that you can see, because I'm only recording one screen. I'll put the live link down one side and I'll have Substance on the other. So I'll do that now. So what I'll do is I'll tear off the scene like this, have it as a floating window, and I'll resize it so it sits down the side. You can see it actually happening then. So let's move this all out the way. Let's set it all up. Okay, so there we have it. We have Substance on one side and we have the scene of Unity on the other side, which is pretty cool. So this way, when I paint in here, you should see it appear live in here. Okay, so the first thing to do is right click on this. You need to go into your, let me just pull this back onto the screen for a minute. You need to go to your hierarchy here, right click on it, and down the bottom you'll see Send to Substance Painter. Click that. Move this out of the way, and you'll see it has appeared in Substance Painter right here. It's the same model. I've just sent it from Unity into Substance, as if by magic, which is very cool. And now, as I paint in here, you should see it appear on here. But first thing we've got to do inside Substance is bake down our maps. But first, you can see here, look, I've got my two materials appear on my texture set list. Table legs and tabletop, exactly as I set them up in Max and exactly as they were in Unity. And it's really important to check that, because I had it once so that I couldn't see, it wasn't working on one of my textures. I couldn't figure it out, and it's because it took the name of the material of my multi-submaterial and not the actual submaterial itself, and it got a bit confused, I think. So you just want to check if you've got something like this and one's not working, the other one is, or something's not quite right. Just check that your material names here are exactly the same as they are in Unity, otherwise you could have problems and it won't work properly. Okay, so now we're going to bake down our textures. So we need to click on here. Yep, tear that off. I'm going to add an ambient occlusion in my list here, my channels. And I'm going to change it to 2K because that's what I want it to be. And now I'm going to bake. Now in here I'm going to turn off ID because I don't need that. And in here I'm going to add my high resolution mesh, and you'll see it after I baked it. It will change over here. Let me just turn the screen around so you can see it as I do it. There. Right, so let's choose my high definition mesh. There we go. So I've put my high definition mesh inside here. You can see it's the table high version. It likes, it looks for high and underscore low, and you can see the suffixes down here. It looks for high and it looks for low, and that's what I've done. So now we're just going to bake all texture sets. So I'm going to bake both at the same time, both legs and top. So bake all textures and let it do its thing. Watch over here. There. Did you see that? You saw the legs pop. Now the reason why the legs has popped and not the top is because I've only got the legs selected in here. If I change it, if I select the top, you see the top pop as well, and that just tells you that it's working. So I've got my normal bake down, so it's got a really nice smooth edges, and it's working really well, so that's cool. So now what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to use some sort of woody oak texture on the top. So now I'm going to choose my, I think I brought in my materials oak, an oak texture, oak veneer, I think it was. Let's have a look at what this looks like. Actually, before we start, let's just delete this layer here because I don't want that on there. Let's get my oak veneer, and you can see, because I delete that, it's gone black because it's got nothing on it. So I'll leave the one in legs for now. And you might notice that selecting things is there's a bit of a slight delay. Okay, so drop in oak veneer over there. Oof, that's a bit strong. Let's turn off my height map. There you go, that's better. Let's spin that around 90 degrees, and you can see as I do it, it's updating in Unity over here, which is very cool, and you can see it live happening as I do it. All the normals are coming through, the base map is coming through, scaling, look, scale it, comes through. That's probably a bit too much. Make that 2. That's cool. Let's unlock that because I want it different. Let's make that 3 and then down that way. Oh no, actually that was wrong. Let's make that 2 and let's make that 3. I'm going to paint over the top of this. I'm going to make it all dirty anyway, so because this room is quite a sort of a grungy looking room. So that's just a base layer really for me to work on. So let's just go to the legs now and do some to put a material on the legs, just so you can see it all working. Let's delete that layer. It should go black as I delete this, because there's nothing assigned to that material now. And I'm going to drag in, I think I had, see, I've got these substances from Substance Source, which is a really good, useful library of materials that you can use in your projects. If you've got a subscription to Substance Painter, or you know, you can use that, which is really cool. Saves you a lot of time. 'Cause, I mean, they're good for a baseline. So I've scrapped. I don't know what this is going to look like. The color is going to be wrong. See, straight away it drops it over to Unity. You can see it's working really well, and I don't like the orange, so I'm hoping I'm going to be able to change the color. Yep, so there's the color of the paint. I can change whatever I like. I'm going to turn off, also let me just turn off the height on that, because it's just hideous. Let's turn on the normal instead. That's better. Yes, it's quite low res, that, so I can increase the resolution. It's a bit too extreme, but like I say, I just want the effect, and then I can go in and paint over it and do some of my own work on it afterwards. So let's change this color of this paint. I want it darker to really contrast with the top. Yeah, so there you can see it's working inside Unity really well. It's quite a cool thing. It's really good, because quite often I've had problems where my materials don't look the same once I get them across from Substance into Unity. So this eliminates time, basically. It's a really good time saver, just for you to have a look, even if it's just sitting in the background and you just pop into it. I mean, you don't have to have the split screen like this. You have it on a separate screen, and you can just, or sitting in the background, you can just pop in every now and again just to check that everything's going okay. And it's a really useful tool to have, so certainly worth investing time in this and figuring out how to use it. Then I'm going to just modify this material under here, and you can see it updates live as I do that over inside Unity as well. But there's a slight delay, but nothing that would cause you any problems, or because as long as you can see it in here, and then when you stop for a minute, it then squirts it over to Unity. So as I modify it in here, see, that's quite cool. Let's change the dirt color, actually. I want it darker. You can see it changing in Unity as well as in my Substance Painter. Okay, it's a bit close to the color paint now, so let's bring the color paint up. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so that's it basically. I'm just going to carry on painting this, and I'll show you the end result at the end of the video. And that's how you use Live Link basically. And then when you finish with this, it's you just save your project like you would normally. And if you go back into Unity, Unity has it creates a folder. Just expand this out. Inside your assets folder, it creates another folder called SP Textures. It does this automatically. So if you go inside there, you can see it creates another folder based on your object that you're working on. And in this case, it's table low. Double click on that, you can see there's all my maps that it's using. So I've got my albedo, legs, metallic, and a normal map, and a tabletop albedo, metallic, and normal map. And it's already converted it, so it knows it's a normal map already. So it's all coming through really nicely, and it's just there waiting for you to well, it's just there. You don't have to do anything, it's just done. So that's the beauty of it. So that's it. That's how you use Live Link. I'll show you my finished table at the end. So I'll carry on now, and I'll see you in a mo. Okay, so there we go. That's my table complete for now. You can see I've got a lot of blood stains on the edge. That tells a bit of a story. I can't go into too much detail about what that is because of the project I'm working on at the moment. But you know, that's pretty cool. Got some etches on the tables. Somebody's carved their initials in there. It just happens to be mine. Coffee stains, and yeah, it's looking cool. And you can see it over here inside Unity. The finishing looks a bit blurry over here, and I'm wondering if the resolution isn't coming through. I'll have to check that. Yeah, it says it's 2048, but it might be I have got some post-processing going on there, so it might be something. As I get close to it, it might be something to do with that. I'll have to double check. Yes, it is. You can see it's blurring down there. Okay, so there you go. Very sharp in here though. Looks really cool. I don't even have to export them. I just save this project. File, save. Just save my project inside Unity. File, save scene. File, save project. That's it. My textures are there. Jobs are good. Jobs are done. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you found it useful, and if you enjoyed it, please like, please subscribe, and if you want to support me further, go over to Udemy and check out my course on Udemy. It's called The Art of Video Games, and I teach you how to build game environments from scratch using 3D Studio Max, Substance Painter and Unity, and yes, it's pretty cool, so go and check that out. And I will see you in the next video.